The invasion begins. In the year 2145, humanity faced its greatest challenge yet. The Zorax, a ruthless alien species from the distant reaches of the galaxy, had set their sights on Earth. With technology far surpassing anything humans had ever encountered, the Zorax launched a devastating invasion that caught Earth's defenses completely off guard. Captain Liam Hawkins, a seasoned pilot in the Earth Defense Force, EDF, found himself at the forefront of the battle. As the Zorax ships descended upon Earth's major cities, Liam and his squadron were deployed to intercept the alien crafts. The sky lit up with the flashes of energy weapons and the trails of missiles as the EDF fighters engaged the Zorax invaders. Despite their valiant efforts, Earth's military stood little chance against the superior firepower of the Zorax. Their energy shields rendered most human weapons ineffective, while their advanced targeting systems made short work of the EDF fighters. Liam watched helplessly as his fellow pilots were shot down one by one, their screams of desperation filling the comm channels. As the situation grew increasingly dire, Liam received an urgent transmission from EDF Command. "Captain Hawkins, we have a priority mission for you," the voice of General Evelyn Stone crackled through the static. "We've detected a strange signal emanating from the Arctic region. We need you to investigate immediately." Liam's brow furrowed in confusion. "With all due respect, General, we're in the middle of an invasion. Shouldn't we focus on defending our cities?" "This signal could be our only hope, Captain," General Stone replied, her voice firm. "We believe it may be connected to an ancient human civilization that possessed technology rivaling that of the Zorax. If we can find and harness that technology, we might stand a chance." Reluctantly, Liam accepted the mission. As he veered his fighter away from the main battle, he couldn't shake the feeling that this mission would change the course of the war and the fate of humanity itself. Liam assembled a small team of EDF soldiers and scientists, including the brilliant xenoarchaeologist Dr. Arya Novak and the skilled pilot Lieutenant Marcus Reed. Together, they boarded a stealth transport and set course for the Arctic, leaving behind the chaos and destruction of the Zorax invasion. As they approached the coordinates provided by General Stone, Liam's sensors picked up the mysterious signal. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, a complex pattern of electromagnetic pulses that seemed to beckon them closer. Dr. Novak's eyes widened as she analyzed the data. "This signal is definitely not of Zorax origin," she said, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "It's using a frequency and encoding that I've never encountered before. It could be a message from the ancient civilization the general mentioned." Liam brought the transport in for a landing on the icy surface of the Arctic. The harsh winds whipped against the hull as they disembarked, their thermal gear barely shielding them from the biting cold. They followed the signal source, trekking across the frozen landscape until they reached a massive glacier. As they approached the wall of ice, the signal intensified. Dr. Novak pulled out a portable scanning device and ran it along the glacier's surface. Suddenly, the device emitted a high-pitched beep, and a portion of the ice began to shimmer and dissolve, revealing a hidden entrance. Liam and his team exchanged cautious glances before stepping into the unknown. The entrance led them deep underground, into a vast cavern that had been hidden for centuries. As they descended further, their eyes widened in disbelief at the sight before them. There, in the heart of the Arctic, lay an ancient hangar filled with dozens of spacecraft unlike anything they had ever seen. The sleek, metallic ships bore an uncanny resemblance to the designs of modern human aircraft, yet they possessed an air of advanced technology that was far beyond Earth's current capabilities. Dr. Novak ran her hand along the hull of one of the ships, her eyes sparkling with wonder. "These crafts, they're incredible. The alloys, the propulsion systems, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. This technology could change everything." As Liam approached the spacecraft, he felt a strange sensation wash over him. It was as if the ship was calling to him, beckoning him closer. He placed his hand on the smooth metal surface, and suddenly, a flash of images flooded his mind. He saw visions of a long-forgotten era, where humans had achieved unparalleled advancements in science and technology. He witnessed great battles against an ancient alien threat, and he felt the determination and resilience of those who had fought to protect Earth. As the visions faded, Liam realized that he had a deep connection to these ancient spacecraft and the civilization that had created them. He knew, deep in his heart, that he was meant to lead the charge in awakening these forgotten guardians and using them to defend Earth against the Zorax invasion. With renewed purpose, Liam turned to his team. "We have to find a way to activate these ships. They may be our only hope of stopping the Zorax and saving our world." Dr. Novak nodded, her eyes alight with determination. "I'll do whatever it takes to unlock their secrets. We can't let this incredible discovery go to waste." As they set to work studying the ancient technology, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something extraordinary. The forgotten guardians of Earth were about to awaken, and with them, the hope of humanity's survival. Little did they know that their actions would not go unnoticed by the Zorax, who had already begun to suspect that Earth held secrets that could threaten their invasion. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of two civilizations, with the ancient fleet holding the key to victory or defeat. The discovery of the ancient hangar. As Liam and his team delved deeper into the ancient hangar, they marveled at the sheer scale and sophistication of the forgotten spacecraft. The ships were arranged in neat rows, their sleek hulls gleaming under the soft light emanating from the cavern walls. It was clear that this was no ordinary discovery, it was a glimpse into a past that had been lost to time. Dr. Arya Novak wasted no time in setting up her equipment, eager to unravel the secrets of the ancient technology. She connected her scanning devices to the nearest ship, her fingers flying across the holographic interface as she analyzed the data streaming in. "This is incredible," she breathed, her eyes wide with excitement. "The propulsion system alone is light years ahead of anything we have today. It seems to utilize a form of advanced gravitational manipulation, allowing for near-instantaneous travel across vast distances." Liam moved closer to the ship, his hand tracing the intricate patterns etched into the hull. As his fingers brushed against the cold metal, another vision flooded his mind. He saw a great battle unfolding in the depths of space, with the ancient fleet engaging a formidable alien enemy. The ships moved with incredible speed and agility, their weapons cutting through the void with devastating precision. As the vision faded, Liam realized that these ships were more than just advanced technology, they were a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. The ancient civilization that had created them had faced an existential threat, much like the Zorax invasion, and had risen to the challenge with unwavering determination. Lieutenant Marcus Reed, who had been exploring the far end of the hangar, called out to the team. "Captain, Dr. Novak. I think I found something." Liam and Dr. Novak rushed over to where Marcus was standing. He was pointing at a large, circular platform embedded in the floor, its surface covered in intricate symbols and glowing lines. Dr. Novak's eyes widened as she recognized the symbols. "These are similar to the ones we found on the ship's hull. I think this platform might be some kind of activation mechanism for the fleet." Liam stepped onto the platform, and instantly, the symbols began to pulse with a soft, blue light. The light grew brighter and brighter, enveloping Liam in its radiance. Suddenly, he found himself transported to another realm, a vast expanse of stars and swirling galaxies. Before him stood a figure cloaked in shimmering energy, its form shifting and changing like a kaleidoscope. When it spoke, its voice echoed through the cosmos, filled with ancient wisdom and power. "Welcome, Liam Hawkins, descendant of the Forgotten Guardians," the figure said, its words reverberating through Liam's very being. "You have awakened the ancient fleet, and with it, the hope of humanity's survival." Liam's mind raced with questions. "Who are you? What is this place? And what do you mean by the descendant of the Forgotten Guardians?" The figure smiled, a gesture that filled Liam with a sense of warmth and belonging. "I am the Overseer, the guardian of the ancient fleet. This place is a realm beyond time and space, where the memories and knowledge of your ancestors are preserved. The overseer waved its hand, and images began to form in the air around them. Liam saw great cities rising from the earth, their spires reaching towards the heavens. He witnessed the birth of the ancient fleet, each ship imbued with the hopes and dreams of humanity. Long ago, your ancestors faced a threat similar to the Zorax, the overseer explained. They, too, were invaded by a technologically superior alien race, one that sought to conquer and enslave. But your ancestors refused to submit. They poured all their knowledge and resources into creating the fleet, a last line of defense against the invaders. Liam watched as the ancient battles unfolded, the fleet engaging the alien enemy in a desperate struggle for survival. He saw the sacrifices made, the lives lost, and the unwavering courage of those who fought. In the end, your ancestors emerged victorious, the overseer continued. But the cost was high. The earth was left in ruins, its population decimated. The survivors made a decision, to hide the fleet away, to be awakened only in humanity's darkest hour. The overseer turned to Liam, its gaze piercing through his soul. And that hour has come, Liam Hawkins. The Zorax threatened to destroy everything your ancestors fought to protect. But you, as a descendant of the Forgotten Guardians, have the power to change the course of history. Liam felt the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. He had always known that he was destined for something greater, but he had never imagined that his fate would be tied to the survival of the entire human race. What must I do? Liam asked, his voice filled with determination. The overseer smiled once more. You must awaken the fleet, Liam. You must learn to command its power and use it to defend Earth against the Zorax invasion. But you will not be alone in this fight. Your team, Dr. Novak and Lieutenant Reed, will stand by your side, their skills and knowledge invaluable in the battles to come. With a wave of its hand, the overseer summoned a gleaming object from the depths of the cosmos. It was a small, crystalline device, pulsing with an inner light. Take this, Liam. It is the key to activating the fleet. When the time comes, you will know what to do. Liam reached out and grasped the device, feeling its power thrumming through his veins. As he did so, the realm around him began to fade, the stars and galaxies giving way to the familiar surroundings of the ancient hangar. Dr. Novak and Marcus were by his side, their faces etched with concern. Captain, are you all right? Dr. Novak asked, her hand resting on Liam's shoulder. Liam blinked, the memories of his encounter with the overseer still fresh in his mind. He looked down at the crystalline device in his hand, its light pulsing softly. I'm fine, he said, a smile spreading across his face. Better than fine, actually. I know what we have to do. With renewed purpose, Liam and his team set to work activating the ancient fleet. The hangar hummed with energy as the ships came to life, their engines thrumming with power. Dr. Novak marveled at the advanced technology, her mind racing with the possibilities it presented. As the first ship rose from its docking bay, Liam felt a surge of pride and determination. The Forgotten Guardians were awakening, and with them, the hope of humanity's victory against the Zorax. But even as they celebrated their progress, Liam knew that the true test was yet to come. The Zorax would not sit idly by as Earth's defenses strengthened. They would strike back with all the might of their advanced technology, determined to crush any resistance. Liam looked to his team, seeing the same resolve etched in their faces. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, united in their purpose and their belief in the strength of the human spirit. The ancient fleet was ready. The Forgotten Guardians had returned. And Earth would not go down without a fight. Awakening the Forgotten Guardians. With the crystalline key in hand, Liam and his team set about the task of awakening the ancient fleet. The hangar buzzed with activity as Dr. Novak worked tirelessly to decipher the intricate systems and interfaces of the ships, her brilliance and expertise guiding their efforts. Liam stood before the first ship, his heart racing with anticipation. He held up the crystalline device, watching as it pulsed with an inner light. Instinctively, he pressed it against the ship's hull, and a shimmering energy field enveloped the vessel. The ship hummed to life, its engines emitting a low, steady thrum that reverberated through the hangar. As the energy field dissipated, Liam felt a sudden rush of knowledge flood his mind. It was as if the ship had imparted its secrets to him, granting him an innate understanding of its capabilities and controls. He looked to Dr. Novak, who was staring at him in awe. "Did you feel that?" she asked, her voice filled with wonder. Liam nodded, a grin spreading across his face. "It's like the ship is alive, and it's communicating with me. I know how to fly it, how to harness its power." Dr. Novak's eyes sparkled with excitement. "This is incredible. The neural interface must be far more advanced than anything we've ever encountered. It's forming a direct link between the pilot and the ship, allowing for seamless control and communication." As Liam and Dr. Novak worked to awaken the rest of the fleet, Lieutenant Marcus Reed focused on establishing a secure communication link with EDF Command. He knew that the information they had uncovered was of vital importance, and that every second counted in the fight against the Zorax. "General Stone, this is Lieutenant Reed," Marcus spoke into his comms device, his voice steady and clear. "We've made a breakthrough. The ancient fleet is real, and we've begun the process of awakening it. Captain Hawkins has established a neural link with the ships, and Dr. Novak is working on understanding their technology." There was a moment of silence before General Stone's voice crackled through the comms. "This is incredible news, Lieutenant. But I'm afraid the situation has taken a turn for the worse. The Zorax have intensified their attacks, and our defenses are crumbling. We need that fleet operational as soon as possible." Marcus felt a weight settle in his chest. He knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and that every moment was precious. "Understood, General. We'll do everything in our power to get the fleet ready for battle." As the team worked tirelessly to awaken the ships, Liam found himself drawn to the largest vessel in the hangar. It was a magnificent craft, its hull adorned with intricate symbols and glowing lines. As he approached it, the crystalline key in his hand pulsed with an intense light, as if responding to the ship's presence. Liam placed his hand on the ship's hull, and instantly, a vision filled his mind. He saw a great battle unfolding in the depths of space, with this very ship leading the charge against the alien invaders. He witnessed the incredible power it wielded, its weapons cutting through the enemy fleet with devastating precision. As the vision faded, Liam knew that this ship was meant for him. It was the flagship of the ancient fleet, the vessel that would turn the tide of the war against the Zorax. With a sense of purpose and determination, Liam boarded the flagship. The interior was a marvel of advanced technology, with holographic displays and sleek, ergonomic controls. As he settled into the pilot's seat, the ship's systems came to life, responding to his every thought and command. Dr. Novak and Marcus joined him on the bridge, their faces etched with a mix of excitement and trepidation. They knew that the moment of truth had arrived, that the ancient fleet was about to be put to the ultimate test. Liam took a deep breath, his hands resting on the controls. "This is it," he said, his voice filled with resolve. "The Forgotten Guardians are awakening, and we're going to show the Zorax what humanity is capable of." With a surge of power, the flagship rose from its docking bay, the rest of the fleet falling into formation behind it. The hangar doors opened, revealing the vast expanse of the Arctic sky. Liam guided the ship upwards, the G-forces pressing him back into his seat as they accelerated towards the heavens. As they broke through the atmosphere, the fleet was greeted by a sight that stole their breath away. The Zorax armada hung in orbit, their ships bristling with weapons and shimmering with advanced technology. It was a daunting sight, a reminder of the sheer might of the enemy they faced. But Liam refused to be intimidated. He knew that the ancient fleet possessed power beyond anything the Zorax had ever encountered, and he was determined to use that power to protect Earth and its people. The flagship surged forward, its weapon systems locking onto the nearest Zorax vessel. Liam felt a surge of energy coursing through the ship, a tangible manifestation of the ancient technology's might. With a thought, he unleashed a barrage of energy beams, watching as they sliced through the enemy ship's shields and hull with devastating efficiency. The rest of the fleet followed suit, engaging the Zorax in a battle that lit up the void of space. The ancient ships moved with incredible speed and agility, their advanced propulsion systems allowing them to outmaneuver the enemy at every turn. Dr. Novak worked furiously at her console, analyzing the Zorax's technology and seeking out weaknesses in their defenses. Her brilliant mind was a weapon in itself, and she used it to devastating effect, feeding Liam and the other pilots critical information that turned the tide of the battle. As the battle raged on, Liam felt a sense of exhilaration and purpose that he had never experienced before. He was no longer just a soldier fighting for his planet, he was a guardian, a protector of humanity's past and future. The ancient fleet responded to his every command, their power and precision a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the human spirit. But even as they pushed the Zorax back, Liam knew that the true test was yet to come. The enemy would not be defeated so easily, and they would stop at nothing to crush this newfound resistance. As the flagship weaved through the chaos of the battle, Liam's eyes locked onto the largest Zorax vessel, a behemoth of a ship that dwarfed even the ancient fleet's mightiest craft. He knew instinctively that this was the command ship, the nerve center of the invasion. With a sense of grim determination, Liam guided the flagship towards the enemy command ship, his mind racing with strategies and calculations. He knew that taking out the Zorax leadership would throw their forces into disarray, buying Earth's defenders precious time to regroup and mount a counterattack. As they closed in on the command ship, the Zorax's defenses intensified, a barrage of energy beams and missiles seeking to obliterate the ancient fleet. But Liam refused to be deterred. He pushed the flagship to its limits, drawing upon every ounce of his skill and the ship's incredible capabilities. In a moment of clarity, Liam saw an opening in the command ship's defenses, a tiny weakness that could be exploited. With a shout of triumph, he unleashed a concentrated blast of energy, watching as it pierced through the enemy's shields and struck the command ship's vital systems. The Zorax vessel shuddered under the impact, its lights flickering and its engine sputtering. Liam pressed the advantage, ordering the rest of the fleet to focus their fire on the crippled ship. In a blinding flash of light, the Zorax command ship exploded, fragments of its hull scattering across the battlefield. A cheer erupted across the comms as Earth's defenders witnessed the turning point in the battle. But even as they celebrated their victory, Liam knew that the war was far from over. The Zorax would regroup, their thirst for conquest undiminished by this setback. Earth would need the ancient fleet now more than ever, and Liam was determined to lead the charge in the battles to come. As the flagship returned to Earth, greeted by the cheers and tears of a grateful population, Liam felt a sense of pride and purpose that he had never known before. He had awakened the forgotten guardians, and with them, the hope of humanity's survival. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, united in their resolve to protect their home and their future. The ancient fleet had risen, and the Zorax would soon learn the true strength of the human spirit. Turning the tide. In the aftermath of the initial victory against the Zorax, Earth's defenders rallied behind the ancient fleet and its courageous pilots. Liam and his team had given humanity a fighting chance, but they knew that the war was far from over. The Zorax would not rest until they had conquered Earth, and it would take every ounce of skill, determination, and the power of the ancient technology to stop them. As the fleet underwent repairs and upgrades, Liam found himself thrust into a new role, that of a leader and a symbol of hope. People across the planet looked to him for guidance and inspiration, seeing in him the embodiment of humanity's resilience and indomitable spirit. Despite the weight of this responsibility, Liam remained focused on the task at hand. He worked closely with Dr. Novak and the EDF's top scientists to unlock the full potential of the ancient ships, seeking to integrate their advanced technology with Earth's own defenses. The Forgotten Guardians became the centerpiece of Earth's resistance, their incredible capabilities turning the tide of battle in one engagement after another. Liam led the charge, his innate connection to the ships and his tactical brilliance guiding the fleet to victory against seemingly impossible odds. Under Liam's leadership, the Forgotten Guardians struck at Zorak's strongholds across the solar system, liberating colonies and outposts that had fallen under enemy control. They disrupted supply lines, intercepted communications, and sowed chaos in the ranks of the invaders. But the Zoraks were far from defeated. They adapted to the ancient fleet's tactics, their own technology evolving to counter the human ships. They launched devastating counterattacks, targeting Earth cities and infrastructure in an attempt to break humanity's will to resist. In one such battle, the Zoraks unleashed a swarm of advanced drones, each one equipped with a powerful energy weapon capable of cutting through even the strongest shields. Liam and his squadron found themselves outnumbered and outgunned, fighting a desperate battle to protect a vital EDF base. As the drones swarmed around them, Liam pushed his ship to its limits, his mind merging with the ancient technology in a dance of deadly precision. He wove through the enemy fire, his own weapons blazing, taking out drone after drone with impossible speed and accuracy. But even his skill was not enough. The drones kept coming, their numbers seemingly endless. Liam watched in horror as one of his wingmen took a direct hit, their ship exploding in a brilliant flash of light. In that moment, something awakened within Liam, a power he had never known he possessed. The crystalline key around his neck began to glow, its light growing brighter and brighter until it enveloped his entire being. Suddenly, Liam found himself connected not just to his own ship, but to the entire Forgotten Guardians fleet. He could feel the presence of every pilot, every vessel, as if they were extensions of his own body. With a thought, he coordinated their movements, guiding them in a symphony of destruction that tore through the Zorak's drones like a hot knife through butter. The enemy fell before the might of the Forgotten Guardians, their drones reduced to smoldering wreckage. Liam emerged from the battle victorious, but shaken by the extent of his newfound powers. In the aftermath of the battle, Dr. Novak studied the crystalline key, her eyes widening with each new discovery. She realized that the key was more than just a simple activation device, it was a conduit for the collective knowledge and power of the ancient civilization that had created the Forgotten Guardians. As Liam delved deeper into this power, he began to uncover secrets long lost to time. He learned of the true origins of the ancient civilization, of the wars they had fought and the sacrifices they had made to protect humanity from the threats of the universe. He saw visions of the future, of the challenges that awaited Earth even after the Zoraks were defeated. He knew that the Forgotten Guardians would be needed again and again, as humanity took its first steps into the stars. But for now, the focus remained on the war at hand. The Zoraks, realizing the full extent of the threat posed by the ancient fleet, began to concentrate their forces for a final, devastating assault on Earth itself. Liam knew that this would be the ultimate test of the Forgotten Guardians and their pilots. He rallied the fleet, preparing for a battle that would decide the fate of humanity. As the Zorak's armada approached Earth, Liam and the Forgotten Guardians met them head-on. The ensuing battle was unlike anything the universe had ever seen, a clash of ancient and alien technologies, a struggle between two civilizations fighting for their very survival. Liam was everywhere at once, his mind guiding the fleet with the precision of a surgeon and the fury of a warrior. He pushed the ancient ships to their limits, unleashing weapons and capabilities that had lain dormant for millennia. Beside him, Dr. Novak worked tirelessly to counter the Zorak's ever-evolving tactics, her genius intellect and intimate knowledge of the ancient technology proving invaluable in the heat of battle. As the battle raged, Liam felt the presence of the ancestors who had created the Forgotten Guardians, their hopes, their dreams, their unyielding determination to protect the future of humanity. He drew strength from their legacy, knowing that he carried the torch they had passed down through the ages. In a climactic moment, Liam found himself face to face with the Zorax flagship, a monstrous vessel bristling with the most advanced weapons the invaders could muster. He knew that this was the moment that would decide the war, a final, desperate clash between the champions of two worlds. With a roar of defiance, Liam charged forward, the Forgotten Guardians at his back. He poured every ounce of his skill, his courage, and the power of the ancient technology into this final assault, determined to end the Zorax threat once and for all. The flagship fought back with everything it had, its shields absorbing blow after blow, its weapons lashing out with terrible fury. But Liam would not be denied. He pushed forward, his own ship taking damage, his shield crackling under the onslaught. In a final, desperate gambit, Liam channeled the full power of the crystalline key, merging his consciousness with the Forgotten Guardians on a level never before achieved. In that moment, he became more than human, he became a conduit for the might and wisdom of an ancient civilization, a living embodiment of their legacy. With a blast of blinding light, Liam unleashed a weapon that had lain dormant within the Forgotten Guardians for eons, a pulse of pure, unadulterated energy that shattered the Zorax flagship's shields and tore through its hull like paper. The flagship exploded in a cataclysmic blast, the shockwave rippling through the Zorax armada. In an instant, the tide of the battle turned, the invaders thrown into chaos and disarray. Seizing the moment, the Forgotten Guardians pressed their advantage, tearing through the Zorax ranks with renewed vigor. One by one, the enemy ships fell, until finally, the invaders turned tail and fled, their once proud fleet reduced to a handful of battered survivors limping away from Earth's orbit. As the dust of battle settled, a cheer of triumph and relief echoed across the solar system. Against all odds, humanity had emerged victorious, the Forgotten Guardians and their courageous pilots etching their names into the annals of history. But even as they celebrated their victory, Liam knew that this was only the beginning. The Zorax had been defeated, but there were other threats out there, other challenges waiting in the depths of space. Earth would need the Forgotten Guardians more than ever in the years to come, as humanity took its place among the stars. And Liam would be there to lead them, the crystalline key around his neck a constant reminder of the legacy he carried and the destiny that awaited him. The Forgotten Guardians had turned the tide, and humanity's future shone brighter than ever before. But for Liam and his team, the true adventure was just beginning. The final confrontation. In the wake of their resounding victory against the Zorax armada, Earth rejoiced. The Forgotten Guardians and their pilots were hailed as heroes, their names spoken with reverence and awe. But even as the celebrations continued, Liam knew that the true test was yet to come. The Zorax commander, Carvax, had escaped the destruction of his flagship, fleeing to the farthest reaches of the solar system. From there, he rallied the remnants of his once mighty fleet, his thirst for vengeance and conquest undiminished by defeat. Liam and his team knew that Carvax would not rest until he had crushed humanity's resistance once and for all. They prepared for the final confrontation, pouring all their knowledge and resources into upgrading the Forgotten Guardians and fortifying Earth's defenses. Dr. Novak worked tirelessly to unlock the last secrets of the ancient technology, delving deep into the archives left behind by the civilization that had created the fleet. She discovered new weapons, new capabilities that had lain dormant for eons, waiting for the moment when they would be needed most. Lieutenant Marcus Reed took charge of integrating these new discoveries into the EDF's own ships and defenses, working closely with Earth's top scientists and engineers. Together, they forged a new alliance between the ancient and the modern, a synthesis of human ingenuity and the wisdom of the past. As the days turned into weeks, Liam felt the weight of his responsibilities more keenly than ever. He knew that the fate of humanity rested on his shoulders, that the decisions he made in the coming battle would echo through the ages. He spent long hours in the simulator, honing his skills and pushing the limits of what the Forgotten Guardians could do. He studied Carvax's tactics, seeking to understand the mind of his enemy, to anticipate his every move. And then, the moment they had been waiting for arrived. Carvax emerged from the depths of space, his fleet vastly diminished but still a formidable force. He challenged Liam to a final battle, a duel between the champions of two civilizations that would decide the fate of Earth once and for all. Liam accepted the challenge without hesitation. He knew that this was his destiny, that everything he had experienced, everything he had learned, had been leading him to this moment. As he prepared to lead the Forgotten Guardians into battle one last time, Liam felt a sense of calm descend upon him. He looked at the faces of his team, seeing in them the same determination, the same unwavering commitment to the cause that had brought them this far. Dr. Novak, her brilliant mind and indomitable spirit a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Lieutenant Reed, steadfast and loyal, a rock upon which they could all depend. And the other pilots, each one a hero in their own right, ready to lay down their lives for the sake of humanity. Together, they launched into space, the Forgotten Guardians shining like beacons of hope against the void. They met Carvax's fleet in a maelstrom of fire and fury, the final battle for Earth's survival joined at last. Liam and Carvax clashed at the heart of the battle, their ships dancing a deadly waltz amidst the chaos of the firefight. They traded blows with blinding speed, their weapons flashing like thunderbolts across the void. Around them, the Forgotten Guardians and the EDF ships fought with everything they had, pouring their hearts and souls into every shot, every maneuver. They faced the Zorax's advanced technology with courage and determination, refusing to yield an inch. But even as they fought, Liam could sense that something was wrong. Carvax's ship seemed to be drawing power from an unknown source, its shields and weapons growing stronger with every passing moment. With a sinking feeling, Liam realized the truth. Carvax had managed to reverse-engineer the technology of the crystalline key, creating a perverted version of the ancient power that now fueled his ship. Liam knew that he had to act fast. He reached out with his mind, merging his consciousness with the Forgotten Guardians on a level deeper than ever before. He felt the power of the ancients flowing through him, a raging torrent of energy and knowledge that threatened to overwhelm his very being. With a supreme effort of will, Liam channeled that power, focusing it into a single, devastating attack. He poured everything he had into that moment, his skill, his courage, his unwavering belief in the strength of the human spirit. A beam of pure, blinding light erupted from Liam's ship, a lance of energy that pierced the heart of Carvax's vessel. The Zorax commander's shields shattered like glass, his ship's hull buckling and twisting under the onslaught. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, with a roar of apocalyptic fury, Carvax's ship exploded, a cataclysmic blast that lit up the void like a newborn star. The shockwave from the explosion rippled outwards, engulfing the Zorax fleet in a maelstrom of fire and shrapnel. One by one, the enemy ships winked out of existence, consumed by the fury of the ancient power unleashed. As the blast faded, a stunned silence fell over the battlefield. Then, slowly at first but with growing intensity, a cheer went up from the human ships. Against all odds, they had won. The Zorax were defeated, their threat to Earth ended forever. But the victory had come at a terrible cost. As Liam looked around, he saw the shattered hulks of friendly ships, the bodies of brave pilots who had given their lives to secure humanity's future. And he knew, with a certainty that went beyond words, that his own time had come. The power he had channeled, the strain of merging so completely with the Forgotten Guardians, had taken its toll. As his ship drifted, battered and broken, Liam felt a profound sense of peace wash over him. He had fulfilled his destiny, had given everything he had to protect the world he loved. With his last moments, Liam reached out to his team, to the brave men and women who had fought beside him, who had shared in his triumphs and his sacrifices. "It has been an honor," he whispered, his voice barely more than a sigh. "Remember what we fought for. Remember the legacy of the Forgotten Guardians." And with those words, Liam closed his eyes, a smile on his lips. He had lived as a warrior, had died as a hero. His name would be remembered for generations to come, a shining beacon of hope and courage in a galaxy that had known too much darkness. As the Forgotten Guardians returned to Earth, their hull scarred and battered but their spirits unbroken, they carried with them the memory of their fallen leader. They knew that Liam's sacrifice had not been in vain, that his courage and determination would live on in the hearts of all who had known him. And as humanity looked to the stars, to the infinite possibilities that awaited them, they knew that they would never forget the lessons of the Forgotten Guardians. They would face the future with the same courage, the same indomitable will, that had carried them through their darkest hour. For the legacy of the ancients lived on, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. And as long as that spirit burned bright, no challenge, no threat, would ever be too great to overcome. The Forgotten Guardians had fulfilled their purpose, and humanity's destiny now lay among the stars, a future bright with hope and the promise of endless discovery.